were being attacked repeatedly after crossing the border. According to information received through unofficial channels, another pack train would be hijacked in the vicinity of Skeleton Canyon. This could lead to an international incident. It was Sheriff Clay Hollister's job to prevent it.
See if you can pick up that trail. I'll try to catch up with you.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
We rode back as soon as we heard the shot. Are you all right?
Yeah, almost missed me.
Well, that was close.
Enough to knock me out for a minute. You see who did it?
No, but one of the Mexicans is missing.
Yeah. One of the horses, too. What about the bushwhackers?
Headed for Galeyville.
Yeah, that figures.
You think it's Curly Bill and his boys?
I don't know. We take the bodies on back to town.
What do you aim to do?
See if I can find that Mexican, have him identify the hijackers.
I never knew you to take such an interest in civic affairs, Curly Bill.
Why, I tell you, it ain't fair, Mr. Clyburn. Especially since Galeyville folks are paying taxes, same as them here in Tombstone.
And you say the people in Galeyville think they're not getting a fair shake for their tax money.
That's right. Tombstone gets sidewalks, street lamps, running water. And what do us in Galeyville get? Nothing but tax receipts. Now, that ain't fair.
And so you want me to write an editorial about it?
Yep.
Well, you've got a point. I think you're also entitled to law enforcement. You didn't even mention that.
Well, now we ain't hoggish, Mr. Clyburn. Just one thing at a time, huh?
Well, I'll give your proposal serious consideration, Brocious.
Thanks.
Now I wonder what he really did want.
Brocious! Come here. What's on your mind, Hollister? I want to talk to you. Where you been for the last, say, 3 hours?
All right, here in Tombstone, minding my own business. Why?
Prove it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I spent most of the time with your writing friend inside. Him and me have been discussing civic matters. Ask him.
I will. After a while.
Un momento, senor. I beg your pardon.
What's on your mind?
That man on the left.
That's Clay Hollister, the sheriff.
And the other one, the fat one. Is he also a lawman?
Curly Bill Brocious, a lawman?
No?
Curly Bill is one of the roughest galoots in these parts. He makes his own laws.
But they seem so friendly.
Curly Bill, a lawman.
Mexican national's dead. Boy, there are going to be repercussions from Washington to Mexico City unless I do something fast.
Well, the answer probably lies with one man. That Mexican who took the shot at you.
It could be two men. The other one's Curly Bill Brocious.
Well, he was here with me this morning. He has an alibi.
Mm-hmm. So I heard from Curly Bill Brocious. Now, it's too pat to suit me. He knows something. And that hijacker's trail led toward Galeyville.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Outlaws from all over the territory congregate in Galeyville.
And Curly Bill rules the roost.
Not entirely. Red Slade's gang is becoming plenty strong in Galeyville. Strong enough, in fact, that even Cass, Curly Bill's top man, is thrown in with Slade.
Well, whoever did it, I got 4 good reasons for wanting to find him.
4 reasons.
Count 'em.
Well, if it ain't old Curly Bill himself. Step right up here and have a drink with your pals. We're celebrating.
I'm second.
Shame, ain't it, boys? Curly getting old and rheumatic. Can't stand at the bar no more.
Is this the way you feel, Cass? You like being with a back shooter?
You gotta keep up with the times, Curly. Like us. We don't waste time or bullets. We just collect fast. But you're slowing up.
I ain't slow when I pull a gun.
We don't want no trouble now, boys. Thought you could take a little joke, Curly.
I can when a man makes one.
Hold it!
Outside. Now, what's this all about?
Search me. Me and the boys were just celebrating a bit when Curly walks in and chooses me. Guess he's getting his second childhood. Set him up again.
Now, just what was it you were celebrating?
Now, ain't that funny? I done clean forgot.
I guess I'll have to ask somebody else.
Like who?
Well, let's put it this way. When a killer shoots a man in the back, you ought to be sure of one thing.
Like what?
That the man's dead. Nightly. See you in the morning.
The night of June 8. The past 3 days had not been particularly auspicious ones for Hollister. The pack train bushwhackers were still at large, and the missing Mexican, his only material witness, had apparently vanished into thin air.
You're the man that's been looking for me, huh?
Sí, señor. I am Don Jacinto Orozco, a sus órdenes. The man you tried to kill.
Oh, now, hold on a minute. I'm the law. I've been looking for you to identify the murderer.
You are the murderer. And you will pay for it. The whip was a good idea. Makes little sound. Yet it can kill so easily.
Move it there.
On your feet.
Por favor, senor. Make the first bullet count.
Except for the roistering bunch in the Crystal Palace, an ominous quiet had settled down upon Tombstone as two determined men faced it out in a room of the Exchange Hotel. Both Clay Hollister and Don Jacinto were playing a desperate game.
What's the matter, Sheriff? You want to shoot people in the back?
I can see you need some straightening out.
You know very well I'm the only witness to the ambush on my train. I saw you with my own eyes, robbing the dead.
You saw me checking the bodies for identification papers. I want the murderers as much as you do. Drop into my office in the morning. We got a few details to discuss.
I'm free to go?
You made a natural mistake. I won't hold it against you.
Very well, amigo. In the morning.
Clay Hollister now strongly suspected that the Mexican coin taken from Slade was a link to the pack train ambush. The morning of June 9, 4 heavily armed riders came into Tombstone. They had the look of men who had once served with the Rurales, a truly great police force. More than anything else, they looked like trouble.
Well, actually, we have no witnesses. No positive identification.
But you have a good idea, don't you?
Ideas aren't evidence, Don Jacinto.
Are you telling me you know who killed and robbed us, but you refuse to arrest them?
Even if I were sure, a warrant couldn't be issued until I have positive proof. I couldn't make it stick.
Senor Hollister, if a mountain lion attacks my cattle, I do not wait to prove which beast is to blame. I hunt down and destroy every savage animal I can find.
Well, Don Jacinto, according to the law, men aren't animals. It's my job to enforce the law.
But you know who murdered my countrymen.
I have suspicions. When I'm sure, when I have proof, that gang will be tried and hanged.
Who are these men? I have the right to know.
Not now. Not while you're feeling like you do.
You refuse to tell me.
I do. You know those men?
Si, senor.
You sent for them.
Mm-hmm. And because each one has been with the Rurales, each man is a manhunter, a killer of savage beasts.
I told you I'd take care of this.
True. But from this moment on, my men are going to watch you like hawks. One day you will lead us to the killers, and that day will destroy them. Buenos dias, Señor Sheriff.
Hello, Harris.
Well, I see Don Jacinto's men are still here.
Yeah, sticking to me like glue. Even camp outside my hotel at night. Probably one of them under my bed.
Making you a mite edgy, aren't they, Clay?
You bet they are. Sitting on an international powder keg. I've got to talk to Curly Bill or Slade, but if I go out there, they'll follow me. And they'll gun down anybody I talk to.
Well, that could start fireworks. Have a border war on our hands.
Yeah, and the only way I can stop it is by staying here. I'm practically a prisoner in my own jail.
How's the bread and water?
Slade around?
He was doing some target practice a while ago. It seems he has troubles even shooting a man in the back.
You're on the prod against Slade just because I'm riding with him. I like siding with you, Bill, but, well, you just sort of sit around too much.
You live longer that way.
I heard you told a couple of boys there's another pack train coming through today.
Yeah, it's a rich one, they say. Does Slade know about it, Cass?
He's one told me.
Well, he'd better steer clear of that pack train. It'll be well guarded. No chance to take it at all. Unless some back-shooting outfit takes on the job. Slade's inside. Cass.
Yeah.
I still sort of like you, even if you have took up with Slade.
So?
Better not push your luck too far.
We got trouble, Clay.
Where?
Skeleton Canyon again. There's talk of another pack train coming.
Where'd you hear that?
All I know is Curly Bill's sitting out at Galeyville laughing at you. Says while these Mexican gunmen got you pinned down in your own office, hijackers are going to hit the pack train.
Well, that does it. I can't ride out. We don't listen to any longer. I gotta get out to Galeyville now. I can't let them follow me. Lee, put on my jacket and ride out of here fast. Maybe they'll follow you.
Right.
¡Un momento, muchachos!
Didn't work, Clay.
Desmonten, cuiden.
You and your men stay out of this.
Now it's your move, Senor Hollister.
Curly Bill.
Well, hello, Hollister. Been waiting for you. Come on and sit down.
Come out. Come out or we'll blow you out. Either way, we'll kill you. Face to face or from the back, just like you murdered my people.
Detengan el fuego. There's only one man here, and he wasn't in on the job.
That badge of yours has no protection anymore, senor. We won the killers and we're going to have them.
I told you the men you want aren't here.
You, search the place. Shoot anything that moves.
You're wasting your time. And mine.
We'll just make sure of that, senor.
Well, they won't bother us for a while. You feel like talking?
Maybe. Maybe not.
What are you doing here all alone?
Waiting for you. Bad news travels fast.
Yeah, what about this news about a pack train coming through today?
Why ask me?
Well, I got a hunch you're the one that started that rumor.
Look, Hollister, I ain't got nothing against you personal. You do your job good. One thing, you don't plug nobody in the back.
But somebody you know is a back shooter, is that it?
I ain't exactly no petunia the way I do things. But even I gotta draw the line somewheres. There ain't no pack train coming through today. But Slade thinks there is.
He's just out there waiting to get trapped.
Just remember, you said it.
Thanks.
What for?
Sheriff! Monte.
Well, now maybe you believe me.
This is Brocious. Is he the same outlaw I saw you talking with before?
Outlaw!
He had nothing to do with it. Take my word.
And the gang of outlaws?
I'll take care of them. You take your men back to Mexico. Lee?
Si, senor. We travel south. The same as you.
Clay Hollister and his deputy made a hard and fast ride to Skeleton Canyon, where Red Slade's gang waited to ambush another pack train.
Slade! You and your men, throw down your guns!
Thought I told you to go back to Mexico.
This is on the way to Mexico. And besides, I want to help you.
All right, you and your men are deputized.
Dispersense.
Bill?
Huh?
What about you?
Oh, no, not this time.
Guardia!
I tried to tell you, Cass. You see, you pushed your luck too far.
All right. Drop your gun belts.
Now I go to Mexico, senor.
Adios, amigo.
Adios.
Good man to have siding you.
I wonder where Curly Bill's headed so fast.
Well, that wise old coot.
What are you talking about?
There's a big herd coming down from the north, heading for Fort Huachuca.
And Curly Bill's headed north.
And so am I. Take the prisoners in. And just remember one thing. Don't even start to trust an outlaw.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Winnie Joe was in its last day. All that was lacking was the verdict.
Never took me this long to tell a man I was grudging against him.
I like to think the jury's on your side, Winnie Joe.
I'm a wolfer. I never knew a man who killed wolves for a living that wasn't grudged against him. Frank, look there. Them Beaumont brothers. Him's the ones. They fixed this whole thing up against me.
Can you prove it?
I know it. I know it now. Ain't that enough?
I'm afraid not.
Look at them. Look at them. They want me to be convicted. Them and everybody else.
Winnie Joe, you're getting your trial.
Yeah, that's because you offered to be my lawyer.
I bet he knows.
Nobody listens to what he knows.
His lawyer listens.
Yeah, I reckon he does.
Oh, then he must know, too. Winnie Joe must have told him.
A losing lawyer and a convicted man. Who's going to listen to them?
Yeah, but suppose. Just suppose he isn't convicted.
Nobody listens to dead men either. Not even in Tombstone.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
Since the issue was still in doubt, I set up two headlines. Westerby innocent, Westerby guilty. A man who deals in death is bound to be disliked, Clay, even when he only kills wolves.
Well, killing wolves is one thing, but poisoning 400 head of cattle?
You really believe Winnie Joe did that?
I don't want to believe it, no, but it was his poison that killed him. That wolf bait he uses.
But what would he gain by it? There's no sense, no reason, no motive at all.
You sounded like Winnie Joe's lawyer.
Clay, Mr. Clyburn, Frank won his case. Winnie Joe's innocent. He's free.
You know, I always did favor this one. The afternoon of May 11, 1885.
Hello, Frank.
I'm conferring with the client, Sheriff.
Yeah, so your wife told me. I need your help.
I'm sorry, Clay. I'm a real estate lawyer now. I establish legal claims to property in Boot Hill.
Frank, you knew Winnie Joe better than anybody in Tombstone.
Nobody else would bother.
Well, somebody bothered enough to put 3 bullets in his back. Why?
I wish I knew. Do you?
Well, maybe he knew something that he shouldn't have. Something about poisoned cattle.
Maybe so.
And maybe he passed that information on to you?
And that'll put me in danger. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's right.
Well, I don't know. Give me some time to think about it, will you, Sheriff? I'm still pretty upset.
Wait a minute, Frank. Look, that killer isn't going to give you much time to think. If Winnie Joe told you anything important...
I don't know what's important to that killer. Winnie Joe told me many things.
Well, he must have mentioned some names.
He probably did. And a lot of innocent people, too. If I started naming names, I'd make the innocent ones into suspects.
And it might save your life.
What about their life?
All right. But you better leave Tombstone for your own sake. Boot Hill's getting overcrowded.
I'll think about it. No, I can't name names. I just can't play grab bag with personal reputations.
I heard the shooting, Sheriff. Who got it?
Frank Calloway.
Oh, he drawing you?
No, he was shot from ambush. Give me a hand, will you?
Ain't quite dead, is he?
No, not yet. Listen, never mind those gloves. Put some pressure on here. Aside.
Ever figured Frank for enemies, did you, Sheriff?
I do now.
Well, reckon one of us ought to tell his wife. I'm going that way.
I'll take care of that as soon as I get him to Doc Cunningham. Now help me get him on the horse.
My husband's been hurt, Clay Hollister. You've no right to keep me here.
If you'll just hold your temper.
You let me by.
Now, wait a minute. Your husband is safe. He's over at the doctor's office. He's out of danger.
He's hurt. He needs me.
He needs you most right here.
I want to see Frank. Oh!
All right, now, Libby. You're going to listen to me.
I will not.
Yes, you will.
Oh.
There's a stage leaving for Tucson in exactly 1 hour. That'll give you time enough to pack and meet...
Tucson?
That's right, and meet Frank down at the stage depot.
Our home is right here in Tombstone.
Frank's home is going to be in Boot Hill unless you leave.
Well, then why don't you start protecting him, Sheriff?
I'm trying to.
How? By sending us to Tucson? Why don't you just send everybody to Tucson?
Libby.
Then you can hand Tombstone to all the killers and outlaws you can't
Libby.
handle. You let me away. I'm going to go see Frank.
Look, Libby, you've got to understand. Frank is safe over in the doctor's office, but the minute he sets foot on the street, bingo.
It's your job to protect him.
It takes time. I'll get the killer, but I don't want to use Frank as bait.
Bait?
That's right. You got to help me keep Frank alive.
Well, I guess I better start packing, huh?
I'll get you tickets. Round trip.
Can I join the party?
No. This time I want to make sure it's going to be right.
Sure, when there's a killing to do, it's my party.
If you'd finished, Calloway, this wouldn't be necessary.
You really think it's going to keep him quiet?
It'll help.
Just a moment.
Mrs. Calloway, I got a message for your husband.
What kind of a message? What do you think you're doing?
Hey, you got room for a couple more passengers?
Sure thing, Sheriff. Gotta be special nice to people from now on.
It's a new policy.
New for me. I may be looking for another job real soon. Some talk about the railroad coming down this way.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. When's it due to happen?
Might not be long. There's some land buying out west of town. Who's the passengers?
Huh?
Who's the passengers?
Oh, the Callaways, Mr. and Mrs. They're going to Tucson.
I'd be mighty nice to them.
Good. Morning, Harris.
Morning, Clay. Well, say, how's Frank Calloway?
Oh, it's just a shoulder wound. He's going to be all right. What's this I hear about a railroad coming in?
Yeah, great thing for town. I've got a map of the proposed route.
I just heard about it this morning.
Yeah, a lot of people just heard about it this morning, including the man who's supposed to know all and tell all. I imagine the railroad's been trying to keep it quiet till they can buy up the right-of-way they need. The roadbed is going to skirt the town on the north, in this area here.
Well, I thought that was private property.
It was. From what I understand, they've bought this piece on the left and this strip over here on the far right.
Boy, somebody must have made a killing.
Yeah. The Beaumonts. Ben and Cliff, wouldn't you know?
This grazing area right in the middle. It's where the cattle were poisoned.
Mm-hmm. Eddie Cogan's land. Great terrain for a roadbed. Railroads pay the limit for flat land like that.
Well, he could use the money after losing those cattle. Does he know about this?
I don't know. He will. The epitaph will have it today.
Oh, that's funny. The railroad should buy the Beaumont land, not Cogan's. I wonder why. Can I borrow this?
All yours.
Oh, Clay. Oh, Harris. Look, I just found out about that railroad land. You were wrong about it.
Well, it happens. Even to me.
Eddie Cogan doesn't own it. He leases it from the Beaumonts.
Leases it?
That's right. A good long lease. Too long for Cliff and Ben.
Well, I'm afraid I don't follow you.
Well, look. The railroad wants that land real bad, right? The Beaumonts stand to make a fortune if they can sell it. But they can't sell it so long as Cogan has any claim to it.
Well, they can buy him out of his lease.
Or force him out. Oh, there was one thing you were right about, Harris. Winnie Joe didn't have any reason to poison those cattle. The Beaumonts had every reason in the world.
You don't know that. You need evidence.
I'll get it.
How?
Well, I don't know right off. First thing I gotta do is get the Callaways out of this shooting gallery. Libby. Who was it? Tell me.
Clay, I don't know. I don't know.
It's all right now. It's all over.
They said it was a warning for Frank. I don't understand it. I don't know what he means.
I think I do.
Clay, we'll go to Tucson, like you say. Frank and I will go.
You might not have to now. This glove, where did it come from?
It's a man's glove.
Yeah, I know.
The one who was here, he must have left it here. I guess I put up a better fight than I thought.
Sure looks like it. Come on, let's get you to the doctor.
Oh, no, Clay, I'm all right. Oh, Clay, I'm all right, thank you.
I'm not so sure of that.
Yes, I am, really.
You think you're well enough to make a positive identification?
Oh, Clay. Clay, don't ask me to do that, please. Don't ask me any questions about this man. Frank will be killed if I...
The afternoon of May 13, 1885.
What took you so long?
To get my face fixed up. But damn, she's a wildcat, what you did to me.
Yeah, what'd you do to her?
I like scratches on my face.
Never mind your face. How is she?
Scared silly. She'll make sure that her husband keeps his mouth shut. Come on.
Hold it, Ben. What happened to your face? You cut yourself shaving?
Yeah, my hand slipped.
That's kind of clumsy of you. Are you wearing gloves?
Now, Clay, you know you don't wear gloves shaving.
I thought maybe you might.
That ain't Ben's glove.
No, of course it isn't. This glove belongs to the man that ransacked the Calloway house and beat up Mrs. Calloway. A real gentleman.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Try it on. Try it on.
Don't do it, Ben.
You trying to accuse me of something, Hollister?
Well, if the glove fits, yes. If not, I'll offer you a public apology. You better try it on.
Hold it. That's far enough.
Now, pick up your brother's glove. Gonna need it for evidence. This is the same saw Winnie Joe used. I thought you'd like to know.
How's my brother?
He's dead?
Look, Sheriff. It was Ben's idea fixing those charges. He thought Winnie Joe would be convicted for sure.
Well, he wasn't. He had a pretty good lawyer. You're gonna need a better one.
May 14, 1885. There was another fresh grave on Boot Hill for Ben Beaumont.
Prisoner Clifford Beaumont, age 34, is charged with the murder of Winnie Joe Westerby, the attempted murder of Frank Calloway, and the poisoning of more than 400 head of cattle.
What's the matter?
Oh, I don't know. I could have prevented this whole mess, do you know that?
How?
Winnie Joe insisted that the Beaumonts were mixed up in his case, but I wouldn't listen to him. I didn't even tell Clay about it.
Well, why not?
Principles. I was afraid of accusing innocent people.
Frank, where are you going?
I'm going to take a walk. Give my principles an airing. Do you want anything, honey?
Yes, you. And your principles.
The afternoon of May 14.
Howdy, Mr. Calloway.
Oh, hello, Hank.
Now, this here Beaumont fellow, all the complaints they got against him, they're going to have to hang him with a half a dozen ropes.
He's only got one neck.
But they will hang him. I hear they can't even get nobody to defend him. Serves him right.
Not in your own private massacre, Frank?
Clay, who's defending Cliff Beaumont?
Defending him?
His lawyer, who is it?
Oh, I don't know yet. I don't think anybody in town wants anything to do with him.
Hasn't anybody been appointed yet?
No. No good lawyer would want to sit in the same cell with him.
I'll take his case.
Hey, you two'd make a fine pair.
No, I mean it, Clay. I want to defend him.
Let's go over to my office. Fight this out in private. This is the guy that shot you, Frank. You, Winnie Joe, and the devil knows how many other people.
Mm-hmm. Did he confess those shootings?
Well, that's not the point.
No, that's the point. Did he confess?
Well, no, not yet. But there's no doubt.
Well, then why bother with the trial?
What?
No, I mean it, Clay. If everybody's convinced that Cliff Beaumont's guilty, why don't we just walk into a cell right now and kill him?
Now you're talking foolish.
No, I'm not. A trial now would be just a waste of time and money. So why bother?
Well, you know better than I. It's the law.
Exactly. And the law demands a trial. And the law says that a man's innocent until proven guilty. And the law says that every man, rich or poor, bad or good, is entitled to his day in court. Here.
Where are you going?
I'm to see my client.
Not a chance.
Look, Clay. Winnie Joe Westerby was a useless old man. The only things he could do well was lie, hate, and poison wolves. Now, he was accused of something he didn't commit. But if he hadn't had a trial, a fair trial, we never would have known he was innocent.
Well, Cliff Beaumont isn't Winnie Joe. He's the guy that put that bullet in your shoulder, remember? And he stood by while his brother beat your wife.
Sure, I remember. And I hope he hangs for it. But if we have to cheat the law to punish men like Cliff Beaumont, we just better change our ways, that's all. Now, please, Clay, let me have a private...
I'm not going to let you in there alone with him. Somebody's bound to get hurt.
Only if somebody gets out of line. A prisoner has the right to a private conference with his attorney.
All right, Frank.
Hello, Cliff.
What's he doing here?
Let him tell you. I can't. If you want anything, I'll be in the office.
All right, Calloway, what's this all about?
Well, you needed a lawyer. Nobody else wanted the job. So I volunteered.
You volunteered? Why?
I don't think you'd understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd hock your degree to lose this case, wouldn't you?
No, on the contrary, Beaumont. If I could win your case, I'd be considered the biggest attorney in the West. Now, look, you just settle down and we'll start discussing everything. Now, there's certain things that I think I must demand.
You ain't taking any chances, are you, carrying that gun?
That's right, Beaumont. In my considered opinion, I considered you the lowest form of human life. But I learned in law school that any human being, even one like you, deserves a break in court. Now, if you'll just settle down and stop making things a little different. I guess you asked for this. Clay! Clay! I can't talk to my client in this condition.
Oh, I guess you can. Are you all right?
Oh, I feel better than I felt in days. He made a grab for my gun.
Yeah. You know, if I'd known you had that, I'd never let you back here.
Well, now, nobody could have gotten hurt. That gun isn't loaded.
All right, Counselor, you've had your moment. Conference over?
No. Here, help me get my client up off the floor. He's entitled to some rights, you know. Clay, this doesn't change anything. Come on, boy.
Good luck on your case. I sure hope you lose.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
I just pulled the proof of an advertisement that caused me concern. Birdcage Theater, 2 days only. Whitey Beck's fabulous extravaganza starring the one and only Billy Denver, the world's fastest gun. Well, good morning, Mr. Beck.
Well, good morning, sir.
Want to take a look at this?
Oh, yes, indeed. Well. Oh, yes, that ought to do it.
Say, tell me something, Mr. Beck. Have you run this same powder-baited ad in the other towns you've played?
Naturally.
And no trouble?
Well, who would want to make trouble for the fastest gun in the world?
Well, just offhand, I can name about 24 gunslingers in the territory who would consider it an honor and a great pleasure to challenge a fool boast like that.
Thank you for the advice. But we're perfectly able to protect ourselves, Mr. Claiborne.
Well, in any event, you've advertised your man on the right sheet. The epitaph. An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
Promoter Whitey Beck refused to heed the warning. Tombstone's Birdcage Theater was to feature the fastest gun in the world.
Mr. Beck? Oh, that's right, sir. Whitey Beck. I'm Clay Hollister, sheriff here.
Well, I'm delighted to know you, sir. What can I do for you?
Well, Mr. Clyburn, the editor of the Epitaph, is a little bit worried about the wording on this ad and on that bill.
Yes, I know. He told me.
Might be a little bit risky to bill the star of your show as the fastest gun in the world. Somebody might take offense.
Well, so long as they pay cash for their tickets, I don't mind. I'm in show business. I run this ad to attract people. That's how I make my living.
Appreciate that, Mr. Beck. I make my living keeping the peace. Wouldn't want anybody shot over this.
Oh, Mr. Hollister, this is 1884. Why, the day of the brawling gunfighter is over.
Out at the west end of town, there's a graveyard. Boot Hill, it's called. Take a walk out there sometime and look at the dates on the grave markers. Some of them aren't over a week old. On some of them, the flowers haven't even rose yet.
I don't anticipate any trouble.
Oh, just the same, tell your boy to walk easy. Friendly suggestion.
Hello, Harris.
Hi, Clay. What, you talk any sense into him? You gonna change that ad?
No, he says the day of the brawling gunfighter's over.
Oh, boy, there's gonna be trouble.
You worry too much.
That was reason. Every gunfighter in the territory is gonna come buzzing into Tombstone like flies around a honey jar.
Well, I still got my fly swatter. Maybe I ought to lock that honey jar up after every performance.
Clay. Isn't that the Pierce brothers?
Yeah, Dick and Johnny.
I worry too much, he says.
My. That little old Billy Denver must be quite a man. Fastest gun in the world. Ain't that something?
Sure must be a whiz, all right.
Well, howdy there, boys. Yes, sir, it's a great show. The fastest gun in the world. I hope you'll be able to make it.
Oh, we're gonna make it all right. Ain't we, Dick?
Yeah. You wouldn't miss that for a whole corral full of cows.
No, sir. Wouldn't miss this shooting. Not for 1,000,000 cows. Think little old Billy can beat shooting like that, Grandpa?
Well, hello, Clay.
Hello, Dick. Johnny? $10, please.
Oh, shucks, Clay. We're just having a little fun, that's all.
Well, you have any more fun, and you'll be my guest for the next 30 days.
Clay, the boy's just a little wild. He didn't mean anything.
$10.
Pay the man. But Dick, pay the man.
you stay out of trouble.
Don't you worry none, Clay. I'll keep an eye on it. Go on.
Like flies around a honey jar.
July 29, 1884. Billy Denver, the fastest gun in the world, arrived with Lizette, fragile flower of the footlights.
That's a shoddy-looking group.
Well, it's good to see you again, Billy.
We're always glad to see you, Meal Ticket, aren't you, Whitey?
Hello, Lizette.
Hello, Whitey.
Who are those tramps?
Come on over to the theater with me, Billy. There's something I want to talk to you about.
I asked you a question. Who are they?
I don't know what their names are, Billy. But believe me, they're dangerous.
Oh? Well, I'm dangerous too, Mr. Beck. The fastest gun in the world, they call me. And you know something? They're right.
Billy, let's go on over to the theater. It's right over here. Come on, this way.
My, ain't he the pretty one, though?
Yeah.
Look, Billy, I said the same as you, that no man would go up against you. Now I'm not sure.
Billy,
Yeah?
don't try to prove anything. Everyone knows how good you are.
And every day I'm getting just a little bit better. Just a little bit faster. Watch. See? Maybe I should branch out a little.
What do you mean?
Oh, got me a reputation. The fastest gun in the world. That's only half the reputation I need. Maybe this is the time and the place.
Well, come in, Sheriff Hollister. Billy?
I heard. I got ears.
Sheriff Hollister, this is Lizette, Mr. Denver's assistant.
I'm glad to meet you, man.
Well, Mr. Hollister, what's your trouble? Have you say?
All right. I will. You know, a man shouldn't come into a town, especially this town, wearing a chip on his shoulder.
A man shouldn't hide his light under a bushel.
Have you spent much time in the West?
First trip.
Don't make it your last.
Meaning?
Well, did you ever shoot a man who was facing you with a gun in his hand?
No. But I figure a man makes a much bigger target than a clay pigeon.
And much more dangerous.
He's right, Billy. Listen to him.
Oh, and incidentally, if you figure to go out on the town, you might wear something a little less conspicuous. And leave your guns here. That way I'll be sure trouble won't come up.
I go anywhere and wear anything I please.
Quarter loads.
So?
Well, did you ever try to hit a moving target with a full load 45?
No.
Quite a kick, and very dangerous. That's what the boys out here use. Bye, Mr. Denver.
He makes sense, Billy.
Both of you, get out of here.
Someday, Billy.
Someday, nothing. You couldn't get along without me, and you know it.
I couldn't get along without you, Billy. I need you.
Well, sorry. I don't need anybody. Just my eyes, my hands, and my guns.
Everybody needs somebody. Someday you'll find that out.
Ready?
Ready.
That's shooting, man. That's real shooting.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah? He's almost as good as you were. Almost.
No trouble, Johnny.
Oh, no trouble. You know that.
Do I, Johnny?
Sure you do.
I can trust you then?
With your life.
I'm trusting you with yours.
I'm gonna take good care of it.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I better have a talk to Johnny.
Now who's worrying?
Wait for him outside. Come on.
Well, I'm heading back home. You coming?
Don't get in too often, Dick. I think I'll hang around for a day or two. Okay?
Make it a day. And don't drink too much.
You're getting to be a regular worrywart.
I only got one brother. I like having him around.
Gonna be around for a long time.
Dick! Johnny!
Yeah, Lawman, something bothering you?
No, I don't know yet. You gonna behave yourself tonight?
Johnny won't give you no trouble, Clay. He gave me his promise.
Is that right?
You heard him.
Make sure you don't make any trouble. Otherwise, you'll be boarding with us for a long time.
Yeah.
See you, Johnny. One day, no more.
A few seconds is all I need.
Sheriff had a good idea. Full loads.
Billy, you're an actor, an attraction. You're not a gunfighter.
I'm the best on the stage, and I'm the best on the street. The fastest gun in the world, and the deadliest gun in the world. I'll show you. I'll show everybody. Move.
Johnny Pierce was on the town looking for Billy Denver and trouble. He found them both at the Crystal Palace.
Excuse me. Whiskey straight.
Sit down, I'll be with you.
My, you're the prettiest thing I've seen in this town in a long time.
Is this a saloon or a stable?
Maybe you've had enough to drink, Johnny.
I ain't had enough. I ain't had near enough.
Clumsy ox.
Try to get your nice, pretty shirt all dirty.
Johnny, please get out of here.
You shouldn't have done that.
You know who I am?
Yeah, I know who you are. You're the fastest gun in the world. Says so right out in front of the theater. That's what it says.
Johnny, go someplace and sleep it off. You're in no condition to choose
Just a minute.
anyone.
Let's see how far you'll go to back up your loud mouth.
Please, mister, he's in no condition.
Glad you did that. I'm real glad. Now I'm gonna show you how fast you ain't.
Please, gentlemen, stop before it's too late.
You're gonna get it now, fast gun. You're gonna get it.
Draw! Let's go. All right. Anybody else don't believe I'm fast? Anybody else want to take a chance? All right, boys. Drink up. Name it, gentlemen, name it. Get in the corner. All right, mister, what's your story?
It was Johnny's fault, Clay. He asked for it, but he was pretty oiled. He didn't have a chance, not a chance.
It was self-defense, pure and simple.
Self-defense? You came in here looking for a fight. Gunning Johnny was like shooting a baby. You're just a tin gunfighter. Let me tell you something, Billy. You just started to die.
Maybe you'd like to try your luck?
Don't push yours. Now get back to your hotel and stay there. Move.
July 30, 1884. There had been one killing. Sheriff Clay Hollister didn't want another one.
What do you think, Harris?
I think we better get that conceited bonehead out of Tombstone before Dick Pierce hears about Johnny.
Well, even if he doesn't hear about Johnny, he's going to come looking for him. I better go over to the theater. Try to get Mr. Denver on the stage who's leaving tonight. You might have to be late.
Want me to come along?
No, you stay here. Keep an eye out for Dick. If you see him, stop him.
He's not in too good a mood.
Well, I'm not either.
What do you want?
You, on the stage leaving town tonight.
Oh, that's impossible. I have a performance to do.
You're not going to be performing ever again if Dick Pierce catches up with you. He's no drunken setup like his brother Johnny.
You mean you still doubt my ability to defend myself?
When a man really wants to kill somebody, he's got an extra edge on his side. And Dick Pierce is really going to want to kill you.
The house is sold out, Mr. Hollister. We just can't afford to walk out on it. There's another stage in the morning. We'll be on that.
I wouldn't count on it. There's just two ways that you're going to get him out of town. Quick or dead. Try to get him on tonight's stage.
Let's go tonight, Billy, please.
The fastest gun and the deadliest gun. That'll read real nice, huh, Whitey? Already got myself one notch. I might as well try for two.
I guess you don't need anybody but yourself, Billy. I guess you don't.
No. But you need me.
The night of July 30, Billy Denver was making his second appearance at the Birdcage.
I'm going around to the stage door. You keep an eye out for Dick, and if he comes along, stop him.
There's been an ugly rumor that I can't use anything but quarter loads. Well, tonight I've been using full loads, and I haven't missed a shot. You ready, Lizette?
Ready.
now, Dick.
Don't aim to give you any trouble, Lee.
That's good, because
In case you think I was lucky.
Luck's run out, mister.
What do you want?
You. You killed my brother, now I'm gonna cut you to pieces.
No!
Stay away from him, lady.
Stay out of this, Lizette. Well, folks, gonna get your money's worth tonight.
You're gonna die tonight, Billy. Ain't the same as facing a kid who's been drinking, is it? Scared? Sure you're scared. All right, Billy. I'm gonna call it. Ready? 1, 2. Get out of the way, Clay.
No, Dick.
Get out of the way, Clay.
You gonna shoot me? Lee? You're gonna be on that stage leaving tomorrow. And if you're smart, you won't come back.
I'm sorry about Johnny, Dick. But, I better keep this until he leaves town.
I still got my other gun.
Oh, Billy.
You're lucky, Billy. Dick would have shot to kill. But you won't be using those guns of yours anymore. The show's over. Better find yourself a new star.
June 1, 1884. Tombstone said goodbye to Billy Denver. He was glad to say goodbye to Tombstone.
I guess everybody needs someone.
Well, I guess for Billy, the glory's gone.
Maybe he's found something better to take his place.
Boy, he sure was good. Outdrew his left gun. I wonder what would have happened with his right.
I guess you'll never know.
That's all right with me.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
The misfits, the wanderers, and the nonconformists. Some burned with a unique faith that they moved under the special favor of the Creator, and that He would provide them with their haven of plenty.
Tabitha.
What's the matter? What happened?
Don't tell Elias, Simon. Please, Sister Mary, don't tell him. He'll be displeased with me.
But he should know.
Sister, the baby. It's near your time. Not yet. Not yet.
Tabitha.
I'll be fine, Elias. I'll be fine. But she just took a spell from the heat.
We've reached the end of our journey. This place shall be our land of plenty.
The Lord be praised.
Yes, let us thank Him for leading us through the wilderness, for helping us to persevere where others have failed. Let us pray.
But what about Ben? He went after the sheep and he hasn't come back yet.
Your brother can pray his thanks when he comes. We will pray ours now. Oh, Lord, we thank you.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
May 10, 1881. The newcomers received their welcome to the West.
This yours?
Ben.
Yes, he's Ben Ashdown with our party. Who are you, sir?
Clear out, mister. You and your whole ragtag bobtail outfit. Clear off this land. And keep out of Tombstone, understand?
Who are you?
The name's Lige Crown. My ranch is up yonder, and you ain't my choice for neighbors. Is that enough?
Lige for Elijah. Surely, Mr. Crown.
Listen, we've had your kind around here before. With all your strange ways, full of pious spoutings, wearing them clothes and setting example for our young'uns. We know all about you.
You've never seen us before. This is the farthest west any of our people have ever come.
Yes, and you're going farther. Today.
We don't believe in violence. But we won't leave. The land is here for all. We ask only the right to live and work in peace on a small portion of it.
If you're not going by tomorrow, you'll get a small portion. 6 feet long and 6 feet deep. Come on!
May 11, 1881. Street fighting was not unusual in Tombstone, but when youngsters were involved, it was time to intervene.
Give him a good one. Get him, boy. Get in there.
All right, that's enough. Stop it. You should feel proud of yourselves. 3 against 1. Now go on home.
Let him finish it up, Harris. Might be one way to get rid of him and his friends.
Sure, we sure don't want him around here.
He did fine, boys, fine.
We'll see the sheriff about this. Come along?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Clyburn. Harris Clyburn.
My name's Ben Ashdown, sir.
I'm glad to know you, Ben. You're from that new camp outside of town.
Yes, sir. Looking for a job in town. Doesn't much look like I'll get one, does it?
What can you do?
Work hard and learn.
Well, maybe I can find you something here at the Epitaph.
Well, I can read and write.
Well, good. $2 a week. You start at 8 in the morning.
Well, I'll be here, Mr. Clyburn. Mr. Clyburn, sir?
Yes, Ben.
Are you a godly man?
Well, now that you mention it, I think I am, in my own way.
Well, that's good. If you weren't, Elder Ransom wouldn't let me take the job.
Oh, Harris? That's the boy that started that street brawl?
Well, that isn't exactly the way it was, Clay. 3 of the town boys attacked Ben here. I guess I interrupted their pleasure.
You from that camp outside of town, huh?
Yes, sir.
You people planning on staying?
Why, I reckon so, sir. Elder Ransom says this is the place the Lord picked for us to settle down.
Oh, he did.
Oh, what's it all about, Clay? Why all the excitement over 4 boys scuffling in the street?
Well, there's more to it than that, Harris. I've been asked to get these people out of Tombstone.
Ben, why don't you go in the back room for a few minutes and look around? You know, kind of get acquainted with the place. He goes to work for me tomorrow morning.
Harris, those people have to go. It's for their own protection.
You letting the town crackpots put a burr under your saddle?
Oh, you know me better than that. It's just they don't belong. They'll be the cause of trouble, violence. They're
different?
Of course they are.
Look, for my part, they can stay as long as they want to. I'm just trying to keep them from getting hurt and keep the town out of trouble.
They dress differently, they act differently, maybe they worship God a little differently. And every ignorant hammerhead in Tombstone hates them for it. May 12, a rainy afternoon in Tombstone. There were other storm clouds gathering that day.
Yes?
I told you to get out.
Yeah, you tell him, Lige.
Why don't he fight back? Yeah, why don't you fight if you want to stay so bad?
Elias, don't!
We don't use violence.
We got our town just the way we like it. We don't want your kind here.
That's Elder Ransom.
We'll make a place for ourselves.
Leave him alone.
Ben!
Crowd! You're looking for somebody who'll fight back. Try me.
You gonna throw me in jail now, Sheriff?
You know how people feel. Why do you come into town?
We came to find a doctor for my wife.
I'm sorry. The doctor's riding circuit, visiting the ranches. He won't be back for a couple of days.
Thank you for your help. However, it wasn't necessary.
Oh, you come in here so chock full of good intentions.
You think that's enough to keep you from getting near killed?
The Lord watches over us.
Well, in other places, maybe. But when they wrote about a place where angels feared to walk, they meant Tombstone. Now you better find yourself another place.
I think not.
Sheriff?
Yeah?
You're the boss here in Tombstone.
If need be.
Out around my place, it's different. You come out sometime and see.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ransom, for the whole town.
The Lord tests us all in many ways. I'm proud of Elias. He once was a man of terrible violence.
That's right, sir. Was a time when I'd have broken that man like a twig.
The night of May 12th.
Well?
We want to talk to you, Hollister.
About Elder Ransom.
They gotta go, Sheriff. We don't want them in Tombstone.
They're not in Tombstone.
5 miles away, it's the same thing. I mean, they walk around with their funny clothes and their preachy ways, and the first thing you know it, their young'uns are with our young'uns, and we gotta answer a lot of questions.
They come into my store, and my good customers won't come in no more.
Why not?
Because well, I don't know, because they won't, that's why.
If you've got something they want to buy, they'll come in no matter who else is there.
Now, don't try any of your fancy talk, Harris, because it won't do no good.
These people ain't our kind. They don't belong here.
Well, what do you gentlemen suggest that I do?
Root them out of here, that's what.
And you do something about it before somebody else does.
Now, you listen to me before you get into real trouble. I'll handle this the way I see fit. And if you people try to do it your way, you'll all end up back there in the lockup with your wives feeding you soup through the bars. That clear?
Just root them out of here, Hollister.
Well, you heard it. If I let those people stay, there's going to be bloodshed. I can't have that.
Clay, Ransom, and his party are in this county, and their rights are in jeopardy. You're sheriff of this county and committed by oath to protect those rights.
And you know what they say? They say the Lord told him to settle here. And if they stay here, you know what'll happen? There'll be more of them coming here. And how'd you like your kids marrying up with them? What'd Hollister say when you talked to him?
Well, he said we dasn't.
Did he say what he was gonna do?
No, not exactly.
If the sheriff don't protect the citizens, then what?
And the citizens gotta protect themselves.
You're right. Yes. Somebody go heat up the tar bucket.
Well, that woman's gonna have a baby right quick.
Then let her have it on the trail. That's where I was born, and it didn't hurt me none. Come on. Let's get it.
Lige Crown was a determined man, and a dangerous one.
They won't listen to me. I've got to go out to that camp.
And chase him down the trail.
No, the time for talking's done, Harris. If I let them stay and somebody gets killed, practically the whole town is going to be up on a murder charge.
All right, wait for me. I'll go with you.
Hold it. Easy, boy.
Gotta get the doctor.
What's the trouble? He's still away.
The baby. Mrs. Ransom's having the baby.
Oh, come on.
May 12, 1882.
Hold it. Come on, this way's quicker.
Is Elder Ransom there?
No, he's looking for the doctor.
Come on.
When we arrived at the camp of Elias Ransom and his people, it was evident the time was near.
Do you know anything about... I mean, have you ever done... Can you help?
I'm Brother Simon Webb. I helped birth both my boys back in Ohio. I can help.
Good. Just tell Miss Ashdown what you need. She'll help you.
Yes, sir.
Now, don't you worry, Mrs. Ransom. Everything's going to be just fine.
Where's Elias?
He's gone for the doctor. But I'm afraid we can't wait.
I'm not afraid.
Good.
A bucket of hot tar was steaming on the bar of the Oriental. All Lige Crown was waiting for was the rail.
Looks like I'm out.
Hey!
Here he is.
Yeah, here's what we've been waiting for. We'll give Ransom a nice long ride on that. All right, men, drink up. The drinks are on me.
How do you like that? Didn't cost him a nickel, and he's complaining about the service.
You're kind of small, isn't he, Harris?
They come that way.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I was expecting this one to be different. Something special.
He's sure special, all right. Born into trouble. Didn't have a thing to say about it. Clay Hollister's deputy, Lee Yeagley, watched Crown's men pile out of the Oriental.
All right, boys, we'll see you.
He rode hard for the camp.
The town's eating up fast, Clay. Looks like it's going to blow.
Well, how soon do you figure they'll get here?
They should be here soon. They were pouring out of the Oriental when I left.
Harris, I gotta get them out of here.
How?
Well, not down the trail, if that's what you mean. I just gotta get them to move the campsite a little bit until I can get those yahoos simmered down.
Clay, you won't be able to move them even at gunpoint.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Or maybe I can move Crown and those others. Maybe.
Unable to find the doctor, Elder Ransom arrived with 2 townswomen who had volunteered to help.
Mother and son are doing fine.
Mother? Elder, you've got to move your camp. There's a mob headed this way from town.
I'm going to see my son.
Look, you don't understand this country. It's rough. The people in it are rough. The way they handle their problems is crude, but it's very effective. And right now, you represent a problem to them. If you're still here when they get here, it'd be a bad thing to see. Not even your son will be spared.
No, Sheriff. We've been chased and hounded halfway across the country. Why? All we want is to make a place for ourselves, a place to live and work. No, sir, the time for running is past. The Lord has ordained this as our home. My son has been born here. This is where we will stay.
Isn't he beautiful? Oh, Mrs. Ransom, he's a beautiful baby.
Thank you.
Strong, too. Just listen to him holler. This is no place for a man.
I got an idea.
We stayed through the night. Clay Hollister had talked with the townswomen. If his plan didn't work, we were prepared for the worst. morning of May 13, 1882.
They put up a fight. You know what to do.
Miss Woolsey, you get out of here.
I suppose you'll shoot me if I don't, Lige Crown. Well, I'm not going to. Not gonna budge.
Hannah?
Don't you Hannah me, Henry Woolsey. I'd like to know what you think you're doing riding around the hills all night yelling like a wild Indian.
Oh, we're gonna get rid of these folks. Drive them out of Tombstone.
They don't belong here, Mrs. Woolsey.
Like to know why not? I'd be proud to have them as my neighbors. I suppose you think 'cause they ain't exactly like us, we gotta treat them like heathens.
Well, let them go someplace else. Why'd they have to stop here?
I remind you, John Harker, we all had our reasons for coming west, and none of us come from the same place. And we all learned to live together.
They ain't our kind of folks.
Well, there ain't nothing so special about you, Lige Crown. You ain't greedy, not much. You just want all the land that's next to yours. Well, these folks won't take up much room, and I say they're welcome to it.
You ain't gonna let a couple of women stop you. Come on!
John! What's in that pail?
Tar, huh? You want to put tar and feathers on somebody? Here, start with him. He's liable to do something terrible if you leave him be.
How do you like it, Lige? Being on the outside. Don't be afraid of us, Mr. Crown. We're good neighbors.
Boy, what a night.
Not a shot fired. I'm proud of you.
All right, Harris, go ahead and say it.
Nothing left to say. Mrs. Woolsey said it all.
Boy, if she ever runs for sheriff, I quit.
Good night, Clay.
Good night, Harris.
Rather, I should say good morning. Clay, before that baby is much older, the rule of the gun in this territory will end. I think you'll be just as valuable to have around then as now. Thanks.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, the morning of June 19, 1882. A day that started out about as quiet as any.
Did I understand you right? Did you say you ain't going to Durango with the rest of us? Was that what you said?
I said I don't have no score to settle in Durango.
Sure you do. We're gonna kill Doc Holliday in Durango.
It ain't that easy.
Why not? There's 5 of us.
Doc Holliday's the fastest gun there is. Ain't got any reason to mix with him.
Well, I do.
Well, you mix with him then. I'm out.
Mace!
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
The afternoon of June 20, 1882.
Lee? Oh, hello, Harris.
Lee told me I'd find you here.
All right, you found me.
There's one mistake no man's supposed to make, least of all a sheriff.
What's that?
Getting caught in a crossfire. I'm talking about you going up to Durango after that Texan. What's his name?
Ed Mace.
Well, that's the crossfire. Him and Doc Holliday facing it out sooner or later. You in between.
Try to duck.
It's no joke, Clay. You're risking your life for nothing. Doc Holliday is going to get Mace. You know that. I could print the story today. Doc Holliday shoots down man who killed Tombstone deputy.
Well, Harris, I prefer Tombstone jury says man who shot deputy to hang.
You'll never read it. Holliday's going to get him.
Not if I can help it.
Well, that's just the point. You can't help it. But you can get yourself killed in the trying. Is it worth it?
Look, Harris, Will Hutch is dead. He was shot down by a cheap Texas gunman who was on his way to Durango. What do you want me to do? Sit around and wish that he were here so I could arrest him?
You couldn't arrest him if you were there. Durango's not in your jurisdiction.
I couldn't arrest him as a sheriff, but I can as a deputy marshal. I was sworn in an hour ago. You know the real reason I'm going. Will Hutch wasn't just a good deputy, he was a good friend.
Here's your bacon, Sheriff.
Oh, thanks. I'll see you, Harris.
Where's the sheriff heading, Mr. Clyburn?
Into a crossfire. It was a long ride across the Mogollon Rim to Colorado. June 23, 1882. Durango. Mace and his men arrived well ahead of Clay Hollister.
Howdy.
My horse needs a shoe.
I'll be finished here in a couple of shakes.
Don't hurry.
You a stranger in town?
That's right.
Fixing to stay on?
I might. I'm looking for an old friend of mine. I heard he was up this way.
Yeah? What's his name?
Doc Holliday.
I didn't know Doc had any friends. Oh, no offense.
Know where I might find him?
I hear Doc's been at the Royal Flush Saloon every night this week. Running real lucky. You a poker player, mister?
Now and again.
And I hear Doc's real tough to beat. A man can't bluff him.
Man might not have to. If you get out drawing.
You talking about cards or guns, mister?
Just talking.
Be with you in a minute.
You'll be at the Royal Flush Saloon tonight. Tell the boys to keep apart and stay out of trouble.
Later that afternoon, Sheriff Clay Hollister approached Durango and headed straight to the marshal's office.
Of course, there's no telling when he's going to go for Doc Holliday or where. He might have been just talking big, you know, about coming up to Durango in the first place.
No, I don't think so. He killed one of his own men just because he wouldn't come along.
Well, killing a man is one thing, Sheriff. Going up against Doc Holliday is quite another.
I still think he'll try it. I better stay as close to Holliday as I can.
Holliday won't like that.
I'll try to keep him from finding out.
Suppose you do. Let's say you find Ed Mace like you planned. Didn't you say he has help?
3 men.
Figure on taking them all on?
No, I figure on getting help.
Here. All right, Hollister. I'll do what I can.
Thanks. You know where Holliday is now?
Nope. But I know where he's going to be tonight. The Royal Flush Saloon.
I call you, mister, and raise you $100.
I think you're running one, Doc.
Beats me.
Pair of 5s. Mister.
What's the matter?
When a gentleman leaves the company of other gentlemen, he usually excuses himself.
No offense, Doc. Excuse me, gentlemen.
That's better. Deal.
Need a new player, gentlemen?
Why not? That's what we're here for. Mace is the name.
I'm Farrell. This is Henderson. Maxwell. I guess you know this is Doc Holliday.
Howdy. Run them. Run them, run them!
Jacks are better.
It's up to you, Mr.
Mace. It's a common name down around Dallas.
I was in Dallas about a month ago.
I know. I'll bet $50.
I'll play.
Did we meet before, Mr. Mace?
It's up to you, Doc.
Call.
I pass. Cards?
3.
Next 3.
3.
Hello. All alone?
Three 10s. The newcomer's good for my luck. Run him. Whiskey.
Right away, Doc.
Told you to keep an extra bottle at the table at all times, didn't I?
Sorry, Doc.
Expect me to drink out of this? It's filthy. You didn't think that was very funny?
Not very.
I don't like people who disagree with me, Mr.
Mace. Ed Mace. Brother of Arnold Mace.
Who's Arnold Mace?
The man you killed in Dallas a month ago.
Is that why you're here?
That's why we're here.
There are a couple other people here, Mace.
Stay out of this. No interruptions.
Everybody stand still.
What do you want? You're holding up the game.
I want him. You're under arrest, Mace, for the murder of Will Hutch, deputy sheriff at Tombstone.
Get up slowly, Mace.
Durango, Colorado, June 23, 1882. The patrons of the Royal Flush were amazed that Doc Holliday was still alive.
If I were you, I'd get out before he comes to.
Doc doesn't like any interference with his business.
Yeah, well, I'm interfering. Easy. Easy.
They got away, didn't they?
Yeah, but you did all right.
All right. This was a present to me when I graduated from dental college in Baltimore.
Pretty good present. Saved your life.
How do you like the nerve of him? He broke up my game, broke my flask, and tried to kill me. Mr. Mace has trouble coming.
I'll take care of Mr. Mace.
He's asking for it.
Mister, I was playing a nice, quiet, profitable game of poker until you open your mouth. Now close it, get out, and stay away from Mace.
He's mine.
Over my dead body. You better go back to Tombstone.
Doc. I will. Just as soon as I've found Mace.
You can draw first, mister.
I can't.
You have two guns.
Nobody's as fast with both guns.
You're lucky. You get another chance to clear out.
Just as soon as I find Mace.
Don't push your luck, lawman. Next time we meet, if you insist, your arm is liable to be all better.
I've
never seen Doc act like that.
Neither have I.
Must not be
If I were you, stranger, I'd just let that arm bleed and bleed and bleed.
They get away?
Oh, they're deep in the Red Rock country by now.
Where's that?
Southwest of us. It's a haven for a man on the run.
Pretty rugged?
Bad as it comes. Gorges, mountains, draws, ravines. You can't track a man. And you can't see him 10 yards away from him if he doesn't want you to. Looks like you're going to have to wait till he comes out, Sheriff.
Go through this again? No, thank you, Marshal. I'll take the rugged country. Thanks for your help.
June 24, 1882. The Red Rock country of Colorado.
I'm not better yet?
Well, he's coming along.
We might as well ride together, huh?
Break up the monotony.
Oh, I have another reason. You're better at tracking than I am.
By the way, my name's Clay Hollister.
Never heard of you.
The afternoon of June 24.
Those tracks aren't over a day old.
You tell how many riders?
Not for sure. More than 2 and less than 5.
That fits. Is your arm bothering you?
Yeah, I guess it's a sling.
Let it be. I'll take a look at it when we make camp. Who tied that?
Marshal.
He's a slob. Well, no wonder you were in pain. The circulation was just about cut off. You're lucky you haven't had gangrene already. Got any more bandage?
Yeah, saddlebag. Dentist, huh? Where'd you ever practice?
In Georgia.
Why'd you come out west?
I have consumption, mister. Or haven't you heard?
I'm sorry.
I'll leave this loose for the night. You should be able to draw in no time.
Thanks. Anything you can take to relieve that?
Maybe a bullet someday.
Doc?
Yeah.
Where's his brother, Arnold? What did you ever kill him for?
I don't remember.
The morning of June 25, 1882.
You know something? You're right about that circulation. Don't need to sling anymore.
I'll send you my bill in the morning.
We found him.
Looks like they found us.
Cover me.
Don't do it, Doc. They're trying to draw you out.
It works, doesn't it, Mace? You could have had it quick and easy. One clean hole. Now you're gonna have 100 little holes. I'm gonna pepper you to death. Come on out, Mace, and take it clean. Kramer! Kramer, Carter, shotgun!
There's only one left, Mace.
I'm not so sure he's left. But I'm going to find out.
Hold on, wait a minute. He's mine, remember?
How's your arm, Sheriff?
I guess you could say it's all better.
Now, look, Sheriff, I'm grateful for your help. But I'm taking Mace.
He's my prisoner.
You can still make the first move. Sheriff, I want Mace. You're gonna have to draw.
Over a dead man?
All right, Sheriff, now you can have him.
Just another one for you to forget?
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Stage, a series of events began that brought Clay Hollister to grips with a criminal type unknown to wild and woolly Tombstone.
Where can I get a carriage around here? There's a livery stable right down the street.
New arrivals acted with the assuredness of those who knew what they wanted and where they were going. A few miles from town, the second happening took place in this series of events.
Good afternoon, folks. Hello, Aaron.
George Camden.
Aren't you glad to see us?
What do you want?
We want your ranch, Aaron.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
late afternoon of September 2, 1885.
Clay? Aaron.
Clay, I'd like you to meet Miss Patricia Camden.
Miss Camden?
And this is her brother, George. Clay Hollister.
What brings you to Tombstone, Mr. Camden?
Well, it's a business matter, Sheriff.
That's why we came to see you, Clay.
I understand you notarize a transfer of property.
Among other things?
Well, the courthouse is closed. I wonder if you'd take care of that for me.
You're selling the double T, Aaron?
That's right.
Well, it's taken you 2 years to put it on a paying basis.
Well, we made him an offer that he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, it says for valuable consideration.
Everything is in order, Clay. Will you put your seal on it?
Surely. You're not going to be leaving Tombstone, are you, Aaron?
Well, as a matter of fact, he isn't. He's staying on with my sister and me.
George and I aren't really capable of managing such a large ranch without help.
Thank you, Mr. Hollister.
It's been nice meeting you.
And you.
Well, there's something to be said for being a landowner. Of course, you know all about that, don't you?
If you're asking if I miss my home in Boston, the answer is yes. It was wonderful.
Well, you made your own choice. You've done pretty well these past years, Aaron. Since you ran off with all our money.
You'd have done the same thing to me if you'd had the chance.
And left you to serve 3 years in a filthy prison as I did? Well, that's all in the past.
And now what?
Well, it's taken quite a while to find you, Aaron. Too long, I suppose, for there to be any of that money left.
It's almost all gone now. Most of it right here in this ranch.
So now we start all over.
Not me, George.
You're still wanted in the state of Massachusetts, you know.
But I'm here in Arizona. And there's no extradition, George.
You know that. You came up with a winning hand, didn't you? Patient Aaron left with the money and his freedom. Well, those things won't do you any good 6 feet under. Now, as I said before, we start all over. This forsaken place is just made for my talents.
Now, look, George, I've lived here almost 3 years. I know Clay Hollister. You can't get away with a thing.
You've played a pat hand quite a while, Aaron. But now I hold the winning hand. And as for your sheriff, he's a clod.
Don't underestimate Sheriff Hollister. He's no man's fool.
Well, if he's no man's fool, maybe he's a woman's.
Saturday afternoon, September 5, 1885.
Mr. Hollister!
Hello.
Oh, good afternoon.
How are things out of the double T, Miss Camden?
A little more settled now, thank you. We'd like if you would come out and see what we've done to the ranch.
Oh, I'd like that.
How about tomorrow? An early Sunday dinner?
Thank you very much.
You'll come then? 2 o'clock.
I think I can make it. Tombstone kind of tames down on Sunday.
We'll see you then. Bye.
Aaron, I bet that was the best meal ever served at this ranch.
Why, thank you.
Certainly the best I ever had in Tombstone. And the prettiest cook. How do you like ranching, Mr. Camden?
Well, frankly, it's much more of a job than I thought.
Oh?
He's working harder at this than anything else he's ever attempted.
Matter of fact, Aaron and I have some work to do this afternoon.
On Sunday?
Well, I'm sorry, dear. I know Mr. Hollister understands. You can entertain him. Excuse me.
Won't you sit down, please?
Thank you.
Have you ever been in Boston?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, you'd like it there. It's full of history.
Well, we're still making ours.
I never thought of it that way. Oh, here's a picture of the Boston Common. I was brought up in Boston.
A quiet Sunday afternoon in Tombstone.
When Mother died, there wasn't much left for us in Boston.
Well, what made you decide on Tombstone?
George's idea. He'd looked at some ranches in West Texas and decided he liked this part of the country better.
I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will now. But isn't it dangerous being a sheriff?
Sometime.
How many men have you killed?
How did we get on this subject?
You're right.
Well, now that's finished. I hope you weren't too bored, Mr. Hollister.
Hardly.
Could I get some refreshments?
Not for me, thanks. I have to see if the town's still there. Excuse me. Thanks again.
You're always welcome.
Miss Camden, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Did you enjoy yourself, my dear? Evidently, Mr. Hollister did.
This was your idea, George.
Monday morning, September 7. Sheriff Hollister was summoned to the bank of Tombstone.
You the only one that knows the combination to the safe?
Why, yes.
Is there anybody that you suspect? Any of your clerks?
None of them, I'm sure. I've been robbed 6 times in the past, at gunpoint. Never had it done this way.
Yeah, it is kind of slick for Tombstone. Oh, hello, Harris. Make quite a story for you.
How'd they get it open? Somebody must have known a lot about safes. Figured the combination.
A safe cracker.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Well, Tombstone attracts all kinds of people.
Yeah, Tombstone does.
Do you think Racklin could have done it?
Ah, it's too obvious. Besides, why would he wait till Sunday? He's got access to it all week long.
Well, you check on everybody that comes into Tombstone. Do you think some trail hand could have opened that safe?
No, this was done by a professional.
Well, then it must have been someone outside of Tombstone.
Camden. Well, he was working on the books.
You were with him?
Yeah. But they left me alone with Patricia most all afternoon, so they had work to do.
Well, Aaron used to run that ranch by himself. Why all of a sudden is there so much work to be done on a Sunday?
Where does that leave Patricia? You don't suspect her, do you?
Do you? What are you going to do, Clay?
Hello. Clay, I just came from the bank. George and I had money there.
So had a lot of other people.
I understand it happened while you were with us out at the ranch. I'm sorry.
Are you?
Is there anything you can do?
Yes, there is. I'll let you know.
Well, if there's anything we can do. I'm truly sorry, Clay. way he looked at me, I'm sure he knows something.
Well, that's impossible. What did he say?
It's not what he said, it's the way that he acted.
Could it be that there's a hidden rapport between you and the sheriff? Well, even if he thinks he knows, what proof has he?
I still think you made a mistake coming here. Before Hollister closes in, there's still time for you to...
I told you what I thought of your bumpkin sheriff.
You're so smug, so sure of yourself.
There was a time when you were as confident in my judgment.
Why don't you just leave? Take the money and leave. Hollister doesn't give up.
Well, if he doesn't give up, it wouldn't do me much good to run, would it? And if he suspects me, it doesn't leave me much choice, does it? Getting rid of him will give me great pleasure. Great pleasure.
George, take the money and leave, but please don't kill him.
He won't kill Hollister.
The night of September 7, 1885, George Camden rode for Tombstone. He wasn't alone.
Drop your gun, George. This is your last hand. It's me, Clay Aaron. Don't shoot. Sit down and start from the beginning. It's the first time I ever shot a man, Clay.
Was Patricia in on this?
No, she wasn't. When George told us what he'd done, we tried to make him return the money.
You didn't know anything about it when it happened?
No. I was working on the books. George said he was going into town. Something about a meeting with a cattle buyer.
Why didn't you say something about it that night?
I didn't think anything about it at the time.
Why did George try to kill me?
He thought you knew he pulled the robbery. He said he was going to leave town, but first he was going to kill you to get you off his back. I couldn't let him kill you, Clay.
No. No, you couldn't, could you?
Patricia Camden waited at the Double T. Only one man returned.
Well, you still up, Patricia?
What happened? Where have you been?
I had a little talk with George.
Where is he?
He's dead.
Dead?
That's right.
You?
Seems I held a winning hand after all. You didn't think I'd let him take the Double T away from me, did you? Or leave him alive so he could blackmail me?
What about Clay?
I saved his life. To him, you and I have been the unwitting victims of your brother's greed. Well, the money's been returned. It's all over now. Where are you going?
I really don't know, but I'm getting away from here.
You're staying. Just for appearance's sake. When I decide different, then will be the time you go.
Aaron's story just doesn't ring true, Harris. Why didn't he just hold George? Take his gun and hold him until I got there.
Well, you're going to have a hard time convincing folks that Aaron is anything but a hero. He saved your life, and he recovered the money of a lot of people. September 14, 1885. Patricia Camden was seen in Tombstone for the first time since the funeral.
Afternoon.
Clay,
Sorry I couldn't be with you at the cemetery.
it would have seemed a little strange. After all, my brother did try to kill you.
Are you planning on staying on?
For a while. There's no place to go.
What about your family?
There is no family. Not after this.
I'm glad you're staying on. I'd like to know more about you, what you are.
What I am? What am I? I really wish I knew.
Aaron, thanks to you, we still got a good sheriff in Tombstone.
I just did what any man would have done.
Modest, ain't he, Sheriff?
Means you really are a hero, Aaron. You deserve a reward, but there wasn't any offered in town, so I wired Boston. It's where George came from. I thought he might have a past. Boston police are checking on it. I should know in the morning.
The afternoon of September 14.
Mr. McLean! What time is your friend coming by?
You say the stage leaves at 9:30 tonight?
Yes, sir, 9:30 sharp.
He'll be here just a few minutes before. And don't you forget, you save a seat for him.
Don't you worry.
The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Clay Hollister confirmed his suspicions at the stage depot, while Aaron McLean was being toasted at the Arcade Saloon.
Drink Aaron with me.
Here's the elect.
Just in time, Sheriff.
No thanks.
We're drinking to Aaron.
I said no thanks.
Sheriff never drinks when he's on duty. Isn't that right, Clay?
That's right, Aaron.
Boys, a toast to the man who saved our money and the sheriff.
That's a fine group of men.
Yeah.
Oh, Clay, I was going to drop by and see you later at the office.
What about, Aaron?
Well, it's Patricia. Well, I was hoping you might stop by tonight and maybe have a little talk with her.
Well, I guess I could.
Oh, fine. That'll do her a lot of good. Say about 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
You hear anything from Boston?
Oh, tomorrow. You'll be the first to know.
8:30 p.m., September 14.
You startled me.
That's a bad sign, Aaron. Nerves.
Really? Why should I be nervous?
Aaron, many things you are, but a clever murderer you're not.
I'll show you how clever I am. I asked Clay Hollister out here tonight. You're going to entertain him while I leave on the night stage.
Aaron, do you realize how ridiculous you sound? You're talking just like George. Why, you're even copying the way he tricked the sheriff.
You shut up.
Don't worry. I won't say anything. You have my word. You'll slip somewhere. He'll get you.
It's him. It's Clay Hollister.
Hello, Patricia. Aaron. I hope you don't mind my coming early. Aaron said 9 o'clock.
Not at all.
Good. Things are kind of quiet around town.
Oh, glad to see you, Clay. If you'll excuse me.
Oh, don't go.
I'm sorry that I hadn't seen much of you lately, but Aaron said that...
I haven't felt much like seeing people.
Yes, he said that you'd been a bit upset. He feels kind of natural guilt.
Well, he did what he had to do.
How about a drink, Clay?
Oh, not for me, thank you, Aaron. No, I just had an early supper. Sit down, relax. By the way, Aaron, Charlie down at the stage depot asked me to tell you something. There's been some mix-up. There won't be a seat for your friend on tonight's stage, after all. Come on out, Aaron.
You leave me alone, officer. I'll shoot.
I said come out.
You knew all along. That's why you came early tonight. You knew I was leaving on that stage.
That's right.
You'll never take me. I'll win the last hand. I always do.
Not this one, you won't. Now come on out or I'll start shooting.
I saved your life, Clay. If it wasn't for me, you'd be dead.
Well, thanks. But I'm not the jury and I'm taking you in. Now you going feet first? Let's go.
And what about the charges still pending against Aaron in Massachusetts?
They won't matter much if he's hanged in Arizona.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Clay. Bye, Miss Camden.
Clay, what's going to happen to me?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the jury.
Things could have been so different. I'm sorry, Clay.
So am I.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.